Hello and welcome back to another video on the F1 Journal, and in today's video we will be looking at the contenders to replace Sebastian Vettel at Ferrari next season after his shock announcement 2 days ago that he would be leaving the Scuderia at the end of the season. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. First driver I'm going to talk about is McLaren's Carlos Sainz. If Ferrari wanted to look for a form driver of 2019 to replace Vettel, it would be hard to look past Sainz. He nailed his inaugural 2019 season with McLaren, moving himself out of the shadow which some would say he was brought into by being partnered with Max Verstappen at Toro Rosso. Sainz became the established team leader at McLaren last year and even managed to get McLaren's first podium since 2014. In fact, that's probably the thing that counts against Sainz as a Ferrari contender. McLaren may be looking on the up, with Harmony reigning, a new wind tunnel coming, and Mercedes power in 2021. Would Sainz even want to move to Ferrari? It may seem obvious when you look at it at face value, but maybe it's not so. Perhaps tellingly, Sainz has rubbished any talks of replacing Vettel. In the same interview, saw another contender Daniel Ricciardo, turn all crimson and giggly, saying, "I don't know at the moment, and I really don't care if Sebastian is going to be the catalyst for the 2021 driver market." This is what he said at winter testing, and he told the media he was very happy at McLaren and felt very much part of the project, part of the medium to long term project, and probably I cannot start thinking about anything else. So it's very interesting. Now, would Carlos make the switch to Ferrari? Another option is 7-time race winner Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo and Ferrari have been flirting around each other for a number of years, and you can certainly see why. The Australian is super fast, super consistent, and has some convenient Italian heritage, and crucially for Ferrari is nicely apolitical, speaks Italian, so he's kind of the ideal driver for Ferrari. Asked about the possibility of a move to Ferrari in winter testing, Ricciardo also turned bright red and started mumbling a lot, which suggested that some form of initial contact had at least been broached. At 30, Ricciardo is also a bit of a career crossroads, and another few frustrating campaigns with Renault would see his dreams of becoming world champion all but over. A move to Ferrari to join Charles Leclerc would put possibly realising the dream back on track, even if in Ferrari's mind Leclerc would be first choice. Might Ferrari look to take one of its main rivals in Valtteri Bottas from Mercedes? The man has some serious advantages for Ferrari, given that he's team focused, as we saw in Russia 2018, allowing teammate Lewis Hamilton by, and with Ferrari's recent experience with having two Alphas jockeying for supremacy, this would definitely be an advantage for them to have a good harmony in the lineup like they do at Mercedes. And as with most of the drivers, Bottas is out of contract at the end of 2020, while his experience of recent contract negotiations with Mercedes, usually left late while the team assessed other options, have obviously left a slightly sour taste in Valtteri's mouth. So this could well be a good moment for Valtteri to finally change ship and have a good chance at the Scuderia. And speaking of Ferrari's biggest rivals, is it possible that 6-time world champion Lewis Hamilton can make a romantic switch to the red team? Ever since reports came out late last year that Lewis Hamilton had met with Ferrari chairman John Elkann, there's been buzz aplenty about the possibility of the 6-time world champion finishing his career off at Ferrari. Hamilton will no doubt appreciate the romance of driving for Ferrari, even if, as he likes to say, he's been with Mercedes in some form or another since 1997. Wow. While there's no doubt that Ferrari could afford to put a very tasty offer on the table for Hamilton, would they really want him to be put alongside the young prospect Charles Leclerc? Hamilton has been clear that the decision on his future is tied to the current Mercedes team principal, Toto Wolff. But even though Hamilton shot down for rumours of joining Ferrari, Toto Wolff has just invested into the Aston Martin company, which could mean a change for Toto Wolff, which could possibly open the doors for Lewis Hamilton to join Ferrari. Wow, what a move that would be. Now, Antonio Giovinazzi is my next candidate. You may be thinking, why would he get the job? He was outclassed by Kimi Räikkönen, who's already been booted out of Ferrari, because clearly he wasn't quite up to the speed of Seb Vettel. But there's one key factor playing for him, and that is the fact he's Italian. Could you imagine an Italian driver at Ferrari properly? We had it in 2009, but only because of Felipe Massa's injury. But could you imagine an Italian driver being successful at Ferrari? That would be quite something. Charles Leclerc fulfilled an important role for Ferrari last year and showed that he could be a member of the Ferrari Driver Academy and could be good enough to win races. So could Antonio Giovinazzi follow in the same way? But you could really say that Antonio Giovinazzi didn't perform as impressively as Charles Leclerc did at Alfa Romeo, or Sauber, whatever we're calling it. So that is what's playing against him. But it certainly would be some story if Gio joined Ferrari for 2021. Now, I know what you're thinking when you saw this face pop onto your screen. He's only here because of his dad. And to be fair, that's probably helped him without a shadow of a doubt. I'm expecting him to be in F1 in some form next year. But will it be with Ferrari? It's unlikely. But just imagine, though. Mick Schumacher, whose dad won 5 world championships with Ferrari, joining Ferrari, replacing someone whose idol was his dad. Very romantic, I know. F1 teams have been getting braver in recent years, though, there's no denying that, with 17-year-old Max Verstappen being picked for Toro Rosso in 2014, or even Ferrari's decision to promote Charles Leclerc after just one season of F1. There's no doubt that putting Mick Schumacher, who enjoyed a successful test with Ferrari last year, into the second seat at Ferrari would be incredibly for the commercial side. But after a slightly underwhelming debut season in F2, which saw him finish just 12th, we reckon Ferrari would want to see the Ferrari junior driver in an Alfa Romeo or a Haas before stepping up to the Scuderia. Will he be another Bruno Senna, or will he end up being another Damon Hill? And last but not least, don't tell me you didn't know it was coming, Fernando Alonso. As he said the other day on Instagram, I know more or less what I'm doing next year, and hopefully many of you will know soon. Surely, though, a move to Ferrari is unlikely. However, the Spaniard has been clear that he finds the concept of the 2022 rules change appealing, while even though he'd be coming back to the sport at 39, he for one would have little doubt about his own ability to still mix it at the front. But team principal Matteo Binotto was at Ferrari when Alonso left in a huff in 2014, and the thought of inviting such a prickly operator back to Ferrari and Maranello may well lack appeal. So I think realistically it's unlikely that Fernando could make a return to Ferrari, but it's definitely still possible. So those are all the candidates I think have a realistic chance of replacing Sebastian Vettel and taking the drive at Maranello next year for Ferrari. But who do I think has the best chance, and who do I think will be driving for the red team next year? I'm still going for Daniel Ricciardo, as I said in yesterday's news video. Despite rumours Carlos Sainz has agreed a deal and will be confirmed in the next 48 hours, I don't buy that. I think the appeal of Daniel Ricciardo going to Ferrari. A hot, smiley character, would get along well with Leclerc, a proven race winner, out of contract, so they wouldn't have to pay any compensation. It just fits in so well with Ferrari. Speaks Italian. I just think it all makes sense. While Carlos Sainz would be a great option, would he? I just don't see them going for Carlos Sainz above Ricciardo. So for that reason, Ricciardo's still proving that he's a quality racing driver. So for that reason, I think Daniel Ricciardo will go to Ferrari at the end of the season, which would leave free space at Renault. Could it be filled up by Vettel? Who knows, that's for another video. But anyway guys, that's been all for today. Thanks very much for watching. Link to Twitter is in the description below, where you can find daily F1 news. Subscribe to my other channels on screen at the moment. The Football Zone and the Wrestle Debate, if you want comments on football and the world of professional wrestling. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye.